Hello everyone, in this video we're going to go over how to put together this 100-pound capacity welding cart from Harbor Freight. I got this on sale for $35. It's normally $50. In order to do this job, you're going to need two number 10s. I'd recommend wrenches. I wouldn't go using any power tools on this because these fasteners are very small and would be very easy to strip out. You may also want a set of pliers to help bend the cotter pins around. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and open it up, have a look at what all we get. There's tape on both sides, it looks like. Nothing else in the box. We have our instruction manual that I will probably be taking a look at, believe it or not, because I want to tell you exactly how to do this. Looks like it's probably the back of it. The rear wheels, as you can see here. Probably the sides. A shelf. The lower shelf. The base. Our front casters and all the chain and hardware we should need. Go ahead and open these up real quick. They should be our sides. Let's go ahead and open the bag real quick. We got our little holders to wrap your hose around. Pair of wheels and casters. Chains to hold the tank down. And all the nuts and bolts. I just poured all our nuts and bolts out, and they are all the same, except we have a couple cotter keys and two big washers. We'll start with those. Okay, step one, you're going to want to find your rod and a wheel and your washers. Now, there should be 4 washers that come in this kit, one for each side of the wheel. Now, that didn't happen. I had to go source my own washer. I only got 3 of them in this. So what you want to do is take your rod, stick it in the hole on your base. Then we're going to take our wheel here, and don't follow the instructions because the instructions show the little 6 splines sticking outward. And even though there are 6 splines on here, and even on the box itself, that is not how you want this. They must have changed your wheels at some point because you want the one with 3 sticking out and you want this little spacer towards the back. So you're going to take a washer, put it on there, slip this on, and then your other washer will go on the front. Take your cotter pin, stick it through there, take some pliers and bend it back. I'm just going to use my hands because I can do that. And bend them around. Just like that. Now your wheel is half on, flip it over, do the same on the other side. Washer, wheel, washer, cotter pin. I already did this once, so trying to follow the instructions did not pan out for me. And now we got some free-flowing wheels. Now, next thing we want to do is put our casters on the bottom of the front. And in order to do that, you're going to have to take apart 8 of your nuts and bolts. Now, be careful because there's a lock washer and a normal washer on each one. That's kind of a pain. According to the instructions, we want to come from the bottom up with the bolt. So, we'll just come up. And we'll stick our bolt up from the bottom. And we'll start our nuts on loose. You want washer, lock washer, and then your nut. And I'm just going to run everything hand tight at first. So now that all 4 of these are installed, I'm just going to go take my 2 number 10s, go around and tighten all these down good. Coming to the front of the unit, that's the side with the swivel wheels, we're going to take one of our 2 pillars, and you'll see that there are a bunch of holes on one end and there aren't on the other end. You want those holes upward, and you want the L shape. You see how it's like a C channel? You want the C channel facing outward. So we're going to want it right here. Line it up with these 2 holes on the front, and they'll be kind of offset, so this thing's slanting backwards. And you're going to want to take your bolt and go in from the outside like that. And you're going to want to put your washer, lock washer, and nut on the back. We're going to do the same with the front hole. Again, washer, lock washer, and nut. And it should look something like that. And we're going to do the same on the other side. More holes towards the top, this on the outside, and just like that, line up with the bottom 2 holes. From here on out, I'm not going to tighten anything down hard. You want these a little loose so we can get the next part on, which I believe is going to be the back. Oh wait, the instructions end there. It tells you about putting this on, attach the middle shelf. It doesn't have diagrams any further going forward. It just tells you in text, and it gives you a blowout of what it should look like. Okay, according to the instructions, you would think you want to put the back on here, but no, don't do that yet. They want you to take the middle shelf, which is the one with all the sides up. The big one's got the flat spot at the front. See that? And that goes on top. This one here, you have 2 holes, and there are 2 holes corresponding here and here. You just want to go in here. Nut from the outside is what they're wanting, but I'm going to put it from the inside out so we don't have a bolt sticking through here, and we got a little more space to work with on this inside bit. What a pain. I think I'm going to just start a nut on here and we'll go from there, because that's kind of a pain. That is not at all how I would have done this. I think I would have put the back on, but we're going off of how the instructions want you to. The only downside to putting the back on is it's only got 2 bolts holding it in place, so that whole thing. To the next step in the instructions, we want to put these little holders on. I guess there are 2 places now to put it. You can go high or low depending on how you want it oriented, because even the manual only shows 1 set of holes in there. So I think we'll go lower. That way it's just everything's out of our way when we go to put the top ones in, and it'll work out fine lower, I think. But more of the same. Bolt through. And just like that, nut washer on the back. I think I am going to set them backwards though. That way there's nothing in the middle here to hook on if I want to put something big in the middle shelf. Okay, I went ahead and tightened those down. They should be good. Look at this though. They didn't do a very good job at painting them. Or powder coating, however it is. And now we have some more of the same. A lot of repetitiveness in this, but you know, that's just the way it goes. We have our top. We're going to slip down in here, line up the 2 holes. You want the lip towards the front. And we're going to send our bolts through, 2 and 2. And you know the process by now. Cool, and now with the top on, it's starting to look like a cart. Now, the last thing to do is put the back on. So we have our back here. You want this rounded bit towards the bottom. You'll see there's a hole for a bolt. And we're just gonna set it down in there. And everything should line up, hopefully fairly well. You're definitely gonna have to pull up some and stretch it. But that's kind of what you're looking for when it's done. So we're gonna get some bolts and nuts thrown on there, and then we'll go around, tighten everything up, and we'll come back. Again, I'm gonna have the bolts sticking outward, just like I've been doing with the rest of them. That way we don't have to contend with the nuts and the extra length. Oh yeah, make sure you disassemble all your nuts and bolts, because that's just a real pain. I don't like them having that together. Normally, they just come all loose. So if you had a tank, you basically take this chain, slip it through here, like that. And then slip it through this side until you get tight around your tank. And then as you can see, it'll use the sideways bit to hold tight. So you got one for the upper and one for the lower. Now I've heard people online having issues with the lower one not grabbing on very well, and they just use the upper. So, you know, we'll see about that when I get a welder and we actually have a tank to test out on this thing. Is that loud enough for you? But until then, flux core it is. Moment of truth, is it gonna hold a welder? Yep, it works. How's it roll around? Not bad. I have a nicely finished concrete floor though. Rag, it's rolling on, but rolls around all right. You know, it beats carrying this thing everywhere. So yeah, there's definitely space to put a bigger welder when I get one of those, because this flux core, this is an older Harbor Freight one. What are you, Chicago Electric? I think that's what it shows on the box, isn't it? Yeah. That's exactly what it shows on there. Haven't really changed much on that, have they? But yeah, go ahead and put your cables, kind of roll them up on the hooks and the power cable. Wish there was a third hook for the power cable. That would have been nice. Have it separate. But, you know, kind of throw it up on there. It's up out of the way. But not really the reason I bought this, because this welder's not that great. I want to get a better one. That's kind of the plan. I want one that takes gas. And this thing's just not that great to start with. Well, here's the main reason I bought it. I needed somewhere to put my Autogen plasma cutter. This thing works great. I think it'll actually fit down in this lower compartment, because it's not very big. Yeah. Now I can have both my plasma cutter and my welder, and a little space there for, you know, chip and hammer, gloves, whatever. I definitely want to make a couple more hooks and have a separate set of hooks for this thing to hold up on. So I at least got somewhere to go with my welder and my plasma cutter. But this will do for now. At least put them out of my way. So I want to thank you all for watching. This thing seems to work all right. Still rolls around okay with all the excess weight on it. That thing don't weigh very much. Overall, the instructions could have been a little bit better. Them showing the wheel like this definitely makes it look like it needs to go the other way out, because the way the wheel is designed that they have now has 3 little things on it instead of 6. Front wheels, okay. And then where it all kind of falls apart is they give you one diagram for this first bar and then nothing else. Like that is where it ends. It is all text just describing it to you, and then a rough blow apart of, you know, how it should go together. And here is another thing I didn't care for. It shows all of these being on the inside, and I don't like that because of this. Look at how much space that takes up outside of how little those take up. So that gives you a little bit more room. If you happen to have a really wide welder you're wanting to put up here, you can still probably do it. But overall, for 35 bucks, I don't think you can really beat it too hard. I know I'm being very hard on it, but it's not bad for the price. If you can get it on sale, definitely worth picking up. Yeah, definitely want to throw some more hooks on there. That will be an upgrade in the future. Now let's see about rolling it back where I want it. Can we make it? Whoops, almost. Ooh, just barely clear that Model A. On the plus side, it's not super heavy without a tank. If I had a tank in here, it'd be a lot more of an issue. Oh yeah, nice, tucked in there, out of the way, perfect. So that's gonna do it for this one. I hope it helped you.